Hello everyone, OHM Railroader here. Today we're going to take a look at the track that I've laid on my L-shaped in-scale layout. More in a moment. Alright, so we're taking a look at the track work on my L-shaped in-scale layout. As you saw in my last video, the bench work was completed on this. It's an 8-foot 9-inch by 5.5 foot, or actually 5-foot 5-inch layout dimensions. The track work has been up for about a month now, and we've been running trains. We've got all the main features that you would want on a layout in a very compact size. Kind of show you the full breadth of it here. We've got a staging yard. We have 5 industries. We have a large passing track off the main line. And we've got a few runarounds for a few industries. And overall, it's just been a pleasure to run. The track work got laid exactly according to the AnyRail plan. And I've got the main line represented there. The back staging area, depending on the use, pretty much determines which line goes through as the main. Kind of a sacrifice that you have to make, or a compromise, if you will, on a layout this size. But that's the track plan that I showed in the last video. That's the track plan I designed, and that's the track plan that got executed. AnyRail did a great job of depicting, when I printed it out, all the pieces that were on the plan were the exact pieces that got laid and implemented on the layout. There were no compromises or cutting of track or anything like that. It all just worked out. But as you can see here, with the main line loop, we have I'd say 5 industries laid out here. I haven't decided what they are or what they're going to be. There's a main passing loop. If we look down here off of the main, we can enter into this passing siding right here. That gives an opportunity actually to switch out the 2 industries that are on that siding without affecting the main. And the same goes for this spur here that comes off of the main going in the other direction. Allows me to switch out and serve those industries back there. And I have a nice runaround track or a storage track there. So really, 2 people can be running this layout at the same time in the compact space that we have. You can have a loop train going around while you're doing switching operations for the most part. This industry down here can be somewhat switched out, but you pretty much have to divert something out on the main, which you can bring your main through on the passing siding actually and go through this runaround track and back on the main and still not really affect what you're doing here as far as switching operations go. It seems to have a lot of capabilities for the layout size that it is and what it offers. I've been very proud and pleased for the most part with running trains on this, and we've done some operations already. Nothing formal through JMRI yet, just kind of some informal operations. But overall, it has been really fun to run. We've got this main loop going around here. I think I'll go and show the bench work here. The office area is kind of underneath it. That's the design compromise, I guess, or feature of the way that this layout got put in place. You can kind of see the overall size right here. I can get most of it if I stand here in the corner. In the previous video, I talked a little bit about the track work, the shelving work that needed to be done in order to mount this. And underneath here, if you look, actually I'll come in from this side, you can see the track work, or the shelf work, underneath that's actually supporting the layout. And that's the same thing on the other side as well, which resulted in me not needing to brace. I thought I would need at least maybe a leg or two, but this is all kind of freestanding. Quite unexpected, but it worked out that way. It doesn't really flex or bow at all. I mean, if you really push on it, I guess it will, but overall it's a fairly solid feeling layout. I can actually get this whole thing out of here if you literally just lift it up off the shelf and tilt it and walk it out the door, taking the trains off, of course. But the track work is not secured down. I wanted to see how running it would feel if I needed to make any modifications. So far I have not felt the need to make any modifications. I'm actually only powering the track in two areas. There's a feeder piece right here and a feeder piece right here on this runaround siding. But other than that, there are some voltage drops. I'm gonna feed it in more places with dedicated feeder wires. I probably will take those feeder tracks out and replace them with just regular pieces of track. But to just get up and running, it was pretty quick and easy to do. The turnouts aren't wired yet, of course. They are just laying there, hand operated, and haven't had any track problems at all. Kato Unitrack, for the most part, I have always been pleased with and never really had any major issues. I do plan on eventually taking this to the next level, wiring up the turnouts, thinking about some scenery. Mike Fifer has kind of shown some wonderful techniques on ballasting Kato Unitrack. You've got Roy Smith with his Union Pacific Evanston layout that also has some inspiring techniques for ballasting. I haven't really picked a theme or what I'm doing, just kind of building a layout overall. And it's comforting to have a train running around when you're working. I kind of temporarily just mounted my Digitrax throttle, clamped it up here, up and out of the way. Don't really have a better place for it at the moment. But yeah, that's the layout in a nutshell. It's been running fine. Like I said, no major issues. And I hope that you all enjoy and maybe think about putting something together based off of this idea. I've always had shelf layouts. I have a very small space in my office, and I always like to encourage people that you don't really need a large space to have a layout running. I think this is going to turn into a very small layout that, again, covers major features of what you would find in a larger layout, in the sense of runaround tracks serving industries, staging, passing, a nice single line main. You know, you can run essentially, when the turnouts get wired up and it's a little more automated, we can run two trains in different directions at the same time. I know that during the operating sessions that we've kind of been playing around with, we've had a train on the main line looping around while we're serving and switching out industries, and it seems to work out all right. So yeah, that about wraps it up, I guess. I'll do another video here talking about how I'm going to do the turnouts. I'm going to use Digitrax DS64s, but I've got kind of a special, unique build that I'm doing with those that I think you guys will like. I'm not doing some traditional mounting techniques with those. I'm kind of doing a bit of a modular arrangement for an overall larger project. I'll get into more details about that in some future videos. But yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed looking at my L-shaped layout here. And remember, I want to know what you think. So please feel free to share a note with your thoughts, questions, comments, encouragement, or criticism. I can be found on all the various major platforms as OHM Railroader, so feel free to look me up. And just know I enjoy sharing with the model railroading community, so please consider liking this video and subscribing to my channel to see new things to take a look at or figure out, learn, build, and explore with me. Thanks, and remember to have fun. Bye.